Welcome to the Experience Gap, the insight shop to the rescue, where we turn customer nightmares into teachable moments for businesses. Each week, we bring you real stories of service breakdowns, highlight the moments that matter, and equip businesses with strategies to delight their customers. I'm Kate Complin, the owner of the Insight Shop. I created this podcast to give customers a voice, to share their stories and frustrations, in hopes that companies would take notice, listen, and take action, as customers are your most important assets. Joining me today is Ashley Evenson. Ashley is a marketing executive, consultant, and fractional CMO with a background that spans Big Three consulting, global brands, and agencies. She helps companies build modern, efficient marketing programs that drive measurable growth and specializes in simplifying complex problems into clear, actionable strategies. Ashley, it's great to have you on my podcast.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So Ashley, tell me about your poor customer experience with Verizon. What fell short? What happened? And how did that impact you?
What a mess. It was when the iPhone 17 came out, 2 months ago. I upgraded the whole family. We were on very old phones and we dreaded the day we had to finally upgrade because I don't know what's worse, buying a new car or a new phone. Both processes take forever. So we were on iPhones 12 and our daughter was on a 10. We just dragged our feet for years and we're like, all right, when the iPhone 17 comes out, we're going to upgrade. So what I had found out was great. I can actually upgrade on a website. Like I can avoid sitting in that store for hours. Okay. So bought it all online. I was like, great, this is a great process. We got the phones. I transitioned my daughter's phone. Like you just put them next to each other. I'm like, sweet, this is awesome. My husband did the same thing. Then it was time for my phone. Some reason my phone was not transferring from the iPhone 12 to the iPhone 17. And I'm a pretty technical person, so I'm digging in and I think it's this issue. I go onto the Verizon website and I'm like trying to do the chat thing. And oh my gosh, I am a lover of AI, but this chat bot was not getting me into the area that I wanted. So I'm like, oh, let's be done with this. So then I call the customer service number. Of course, I'm on hold forever. And at this point, my phone, well, I don't have phones right now, and I'm panicking. We are so tied to our phones. I don't have any way to contact anyone. I have these two phones. They're not working. So I'm going to jump in the car. There's a Verizon store in my town, 5 minutes away. So I go there. I do have to say on a customer experience compared to when I got the iPhone 12, they have a better process for welcoming you to the store. Either you sign on the pad or someone checks you in and you go into a queue. So I thought that process was great and it has improved and they probably received feedback. So then I go and talk to someone and she was like, oh, it's because of this and you have to come back in an hour. And I'm like, no, I think it's because of what I had found out. I'm a pretty technical person. I think this is the issue. So she's like, come back an hour after I reset something. That wasn't an issue. The issue was still what I had thought it was. I drive back to the store. I get put back into the queue. So then another guy comes up to me. He's like, oh, yep, this is the problem, essentially what you had diagnosed. But we have to call Verizon to do this. Oh my gosh. So they take me to a long table and it was a couple over here, a couple over here, and then you have the Verizon rep across from you and I sat here on the table. They're on the phone with Verizon Help. They are on and it's on speaker. Oh my gosh, this is just like overstimulation at this point. They're trying to have me talk to the person and this is just complete chaos of too many noises, too many things going on. And then we had to sit on the phone and wait for Verizon customer service while I was sitting at the table. I came to the store to get this resolved. Why do we now have to call the exact same person that I was already on hold with? I was there for an hour, maybe more, to get it done. So I thought, I was going to completely solve this whole customer experience problem of doing it online, have it be this amazing process and not dread upgrading a phone ever again. But no, I still ended up at the Verizon store for 1 to 2 hours that I was trying to avoid. What was a surprise is they still have to call Verizon on the phone themselves, which seems like defeats the process of me going to the store.
Of course, yes. And in summary, Ashley, how should the experience with Verizon gone for you? What were your expectations for how this should have worked?
I think I hit every customer service element possible, from the chat to the phone. My expectation is if I'm going to go to a store, you're going to solve my problem and not calling someone else. Maybe it's a skill set or maybe there is something, but to me, I'm going to the store. I don't want to have to be on hold again with
Right.
corporate Verizon. That's how I would expect it. Also, too, like they could set expectations as well. If you do go to the store, we do have to still call, but you're just talking to someone. And knowing my technical aptitude, I now know that I don't actually have to go to the store. I can just call and probably figure out the solution.
Right. I find it interesting though, like places like Great Clips have it figured out. You can get in line before you get to Verizon.
Mm-hmm.
That seems that would have been a little more convenient for you. Or if you already had an appointment or already seen and they ask you to come back in an hour, they can slip you in when you arrive versus having to go back in line because you are still dealing with the same issue versus a new issue. So there
Correct.
seems that there's always things our businesses could do to improve experiences for us.
Yes. I felt like I was in this never ending cycle and then driving around, and
Right.
I just want my phone working.
Yes, and your time is valuable as well.
Right. They would have gotten an A+ rating from me if my
Hmm.
phone would just directly connected like the rest of my family. And have been like, we've solved this horrific process of upgrading your phone. And no,
Not for Ashley.
not for me.
Well, I'll leave you with this. According to the American Customer Satisfaction Index wireless phone service study for 2023 and 24, overall satisfaction across wireless carriers was 76 out of 100. That is a C grade where I come from. And according to my parents, you can do better. Verizon had the lowest score against the major carriers at 74, with AT&T and T-Mobile at 78 and 77 respectively. Still not great. In Verizon's 2025 Customer Experience Annual Insights Report, they show there is a strong trend towards using AI, predictive analytics, to personalize and reduce customer effort. But despite this automation, many consumers still value human interaction support. And Ashley, you pointed out very specifically how, although AI can be great in this particular situation, it did not help you.
Correct. Yep.
And according to a Federal Communications Commission report, consumers are leaving due to high prices, slow data speeds, and better plan features elsewhere. And finally, from a telecom CX industry report, 80% of telecom customers say the experience a company provides is as important as its products. And 66% of customers say valuing their time is the most important aspect of a good telecom service. What do you think about those two statistics, Ashley?
Yeah, I think that is aligned.
Today's number one thing in cellular and telecommunications experience is the product. With customer satisfaction hovering in the mid 70s, churn driven by value gaps, and 60% of customers expecting personalized interactions, the carriers that win will be the ones that act fast on CX. So if your organization is ready to turn data into meaningful customer outcomes, whether that is reducing churn, rethinking digital journeys, or building the kind of human plus AI experiences customers actually want and trust, the Insight Shop is here to help. Visit us at theinsightshop.com and let's build the kind of experiences your customers stay for. So thank you, Ashley, for sharing your story about your poor experiences with Verizon when transferring your network between phones. And thanks to our listeners for tuning into the Experience Gap, the Insight Shop to the rescue, helping businesses turn frustration into delight, one experience at a time.